What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Talk to Me DMV, aka Allison Watson, LMFT, and I'm here to do a recap on the moon journal. It was a full moon yesterday, MLK's nationally celebrated holiday, and so I was busy doing my rituals. I was busy talking about what I wanted to make sure I manifested in 2022 so I can come back in 2023 and reflect on what I have done to advance my career and personal goals. Okay, so in this video, I just want to kind of give a quick summary of what I was thinking about this year and kind of how I was able to reflect over the last year and look at what I was able to accomplish, right, by using these moon journals to really help manifest what I wanted. I wanted to start to talk about just some of the intentions that I set. And so when we think about the Capricorn season, we're focusing on defining our career and personal goals, right? So in the full moon, it says the full moon in Cancer marks the time when your success comes into full bloom. Take stock of your progress in this moon cycle over the past year. If there is room for more growth, take action on it. Now, it is the time to give birth to a new level of achievement. Capricorn represents the traditional archetype of the father. Cancer represents the archetype of the mother. At the full moon, be a good parent to yourself while giving yourself paternal support and maternal nurture. You can meet your goals and grow in just the right way. So, at the full moon, notice the small and big ways in which your career or life purpose has developed in this moon cycle or even over the past year. So, in this full moon, we're going to notice the small and big ways in which your career or life purpose has developed in this moon cycle or even over the past year. Record these in your journal. Don't be precious or critical. Be positive and encouraging. Celebrate your growth. So, let me tell you, when I thought about and I started reflecting over the last year, this time last year, I had no idea I would just be in a position where I'm working for myself, I'm making my own hours, but I knew where I was in my career, even though the positions that I was holding sounded great. But the responsibilities I no longer wanted to carry because my values, which had changed throughout the pandemic, was now more focused on my family. So I was like, how am I going to get out of this situation? I had been working on getting licensed in the state of not the state, but I had been working, hopefully stay hood, cross your fingers. Anywho, I had been working on trying to get licensed in the District of Columbia. I was able to really just focus and put a lot of energy in kind of studying for the test here and making sure I needed what I needed to do in order to pass that test, because that was my key. That's what I kept saying. That was my key to freedom. Once I had that, it was no stopping me. And sure enough, come that March, I was able to, that February, 2021, I took my test. I passed it. I was able to become licensed in March, and it was off running. I started my business, so I was not only working my full-time job, but also starting my business, figuring out how to start a business. I didn't care what it took, but I was going to figure it out. I stayed up late nights. I was tired. I was just running off coffee and adrenaline because I knew that this, where I was at my job, was not going to be where I was going to last. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I stepped out on faith, right? And I just kept pushing towards my goal. And my goal was to be able to work for myself. I figured private practice would be the first place to start. And from there, once I get my footing, I'll be able to do amazing things, whatever I wanted. And it would be what I wanted, and with people who just connects with what I like to do it in my flow, in my style. So now that I reflect on that, I'm like, go ahead, girl. Look at you. Okay. Like, for real, you was a boss for real back then, but like, you for real, a boss. Okay. Like, your own boss. You don't have one except for the Lord Almighty. Okay. So I was just like really proud of myself when I really sat there and looked like, damn, look what a year can do. Right? Like, when I tell you blood, sweat, and tears, like, I was exhausted. But I did what I needed to do because that was my ticket out. Now I'm transitioning into being an entrepreneur, having balance, because now no one tells me my schedule, but it's like all these other responsibilities that comes with the job are now my responsibilities, right? I'm my own HR. I'm the one that makes sure the health insurance is correct and all of that stuff. So really just figuring out those things are kind of my new goals for this upcoming year. Transitioning to get an additional licensure so that I can expand myself to being able to do a little bit more. Like, it's unlimited right now, but I'm focusing on a certain amount of goals right now for my 5-year plan, right? So I have all these goals, but I'm not focusing on anything else until I kind of go through this journal, I guess, and start to check off those goals that I already hit, maybe 3 to 5 goals. And then once I've been able to attain those, then I'll move off to the next ones, right? And that way I can put as much energy, as much time into what I'm working on now, while also cultivating some of the other areas in my life that we'll be talking about throughout this year with this journal. So this is my baby right here. Like, okay, like I go and write in it at the new moon and at the full moon, right? And then I go back when it's the new moon. And the new moon is going to be in Aquarius. In Aquarius. And that's going to be on January 20th. And that is going to focus on, what is hope and progress. And so for the Aquarius season, we'll be focusing on teaching, where Aquarius teaches us about clarifying our vision for the future, ruled by the great awakener planet Uranus. This sign is ready to shake things up. This is an innovative time. Throughout the Aquarius season, ask yourself, what is your vision for the future? How can you open up your mind to new possibilities? So, for those people that I'm working with in therapy and who are using these moon journals, like one of the sessions we'll kind of go back, okay, it's a new season. What are we talking about? How are we using, the energy, the moon energy that we got in Aquarius this year, to focus on your hope, your progress, right? And really being able to help those things that we talked about in the Capricorn season to start to come to fruition. So it's not that I only use this for myself, but I use these for my clients, right? And so for my clients who's really into this, like, I really try to help hone in on that energy, being able to use the moon to explain what was going on this past full moon, where it was in Cancer. And so some people may have felt like a wave of emotions just kind of catching up with them. It may not have been bad emotions. It may not have been good emotions. It may have been a mixture of both, right? Just, and I hate to be cliche about Cancer being an emotional season, but I kind of caught myself off guard with emotional reaction over the weekend. And I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I wasn't planning on any of that to happen, but it happened, and I was like, dang. And it was right around the full moon. It wasn't on Monday, Saturday. So it was like about 98, 96%. It was like, wow. So it just goes to show like the moods and the tides and the changes in our moods. It just kind of goes with the moon and what sign that the moon is in for that month, right? Or within that month, because it goes through all 12 signs. And so since the full moon was in Cancer, it just was really interesting to see how that took shape in my life, right? So if you go back and you reflect over this weekend and see like, were there any emotional or a wave of emotion, and maybe you just couldn't explain why you felt that the way that you felt. It's just really interesting to kind of connect to what's happening in our atmosphere with our moon, what sign is in, and how that affects people's emotions. Because again, remember, the moon is all about our inward self and our emotional self. So inwardly, what was going on? So again, I think this is a great way of not only using therapy and astrology together. It's just been really great for me to just use this with clients, use this with myself, use this as a tool to kind of open myself and unlock a lot of different aspects and ways of looking at life and doing life and working on goals, right? So I hope this was helpful, and I hope people connect with it. We'll be back, or will I got a couple of personalities in my head, but I'll probably come back around the new moon when we are ready to start setting some of our intentions about what we want to do in the Aquarius season. So since Aquarius season is January 20th, start to think about your hope, your progress. And again, remember what we talked about. When it comes to the Aquarius season, it's really focusing on clarifying your vision for your future. So whatever those goals are, let's start to clarify them. Let's start to hone in. If you got a big goal and you got several things that you need to attain to reach that goal, let's start numbering those several things and then breaking each one down. Okay, so thank you guys. I appreciate you checking me out. So please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to reach out and get some info or contact me, you can reach me at info@talktomedmv.com. You should be able to see some of that coming up somewhere in this video. I hope you enjoyed this segment on the moon journal and the full moon in Cancer, and what affects, kind of what that means, what that looks like, and how you can use it to help manifest some of your dreams, your goals, and whatever it is that you want for yourself in 2022 when it comes to your career and personal goals. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Take care.